The NFC Championship game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers just didn't go well from the get go. The unchallenged play to all the flags from frustrations during the game. Two quarterbacks got hurt. Brock Purdy may be gone for all of next year. And that's how the game went. Nothing really good happened for the San Francisco 49ers in this game. The defense played okay, but they played most of the game on the field because the Eagles, they just came right after the 49ers because they knew that they were going to run and there wasn't going to be any passes happening in this game. So that's the story of the San Francisco 49ers game against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. So your Super Bowl contenders will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Eagles. Neither one of those teams deserve to be there. I don't know why they even that was just a heartbreaking loss by the Niners because they just lost on everything. Kyle Shanahan not challenging that Devontae Smith fumble. I mean non-catch. That was a non-catch. He actually juggled it and it hit the turf. And he didn't challenge it. That's one thing that Shanahan did wrong. And then the Eagles scored on the run play right afterwards. So the 49ers will regroup. They have a long offseason ahead of them. What are they going to do about the Brock Purdy situation? Trey Lance is going to be set to start next year because that's the quarterback that they will have that's healthy. Garoppolo for sure is not going to be with the San Francisco 49ers next year. He's going to go elsewhere. And Kyle Shanahan, everybody talks about bringing Brady over, but I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants Brady on the team personally. And I don't, even if they could have had somebody else other than Josh Johnson. He just looked like a scared rookie out there. Deer in headlights. He just couldn't. He doesn't have what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL. It looked like he was scared the whole time he dropped back, fumbling the hike to him, and not even having the awareness to jump on the ball. He didn't even do any of that. So it's just crazy that he didn't want to jump on that ball right away, secure it. It's like he played scared from when he first got in. It's like he said, "Oh crap, Purdy's hurt. I got to get in there right now. This is the championship game. This is the reason why you're an NFL player. You're in the game for a reason. You're the second string quarterback for a reason. There's not any time that you shouldn't be able to be scared. You're getting paid. You're getting paid to play this game. So you got to come in ready to go. And obviously that didn't happen. We didn't have a quarterback to back up the backup, who was the backup to the other backup, because we lost Trey Lance in the second game in Seattle, and then we lost Garoppolo in the Miami game. And then today we lost two quarterbacks. We lost Brock Purdy and we lost Josh Johnson. And so injuries all around, which led to all different kind of everything just seemed off kilter for the San Francisco 49ers today. Not a conspiracy theorist, but if you look at the start of the game, Roger Goodell was sitting in the press box or in the owner's suite for the Eagles with Biden's wife, and she's an Eagles fan. And I was like thinking to myself, well, maybe they're not going to call many penalties against the Eagles, and they didn't. They didn't. They didn't at all. So what we saw was a complete debacle of a game where the offense was stagnant at best, and all they could do was run and run. They didn't have a quarterback that can throw. Brock Purdy was on the sideline. He was hurt. And then he had to come back in because Josh Johnson was out of the game. To finish up the game, Brock Purdy jumped in there. So what else can you do but run the ball? So Christian McCaffrey should have got the remainder of the calls as the quarterback. He should have just went in and did that and be the quarterback. So a lot of things that happened and a lot of plays that didn't go the 49ers way. It just wasn't meant to be. So the Eagles go into the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Good for them. What more can you say? They got the majority of the penalties called against the Niners today, and the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. No excuses at all. It's just hard to play a football game when your quarterback is hurt and he cannot continue. So, by not having another quarterback suited up, that really hurt the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that happens in a football game. Nobody could foresee that Brock Purdy was going to get hurt. Nobody can see that Josh Johnson was going to come in there and play like a rookie for a 15-year vet. And that's just the way the games go. The head coach decided not to challenge a play that could have changed the outcome of the game early in the game. If he had challenged that, maybe Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, but he didn't challenge, and that's the outcome. Brock Purdy got hurt just a few snaps later in the first quarter, and from there, everything just spiraled out of control in the Eagles' favor. So things to look forward to for the upcoming weeks and months ahead is we're going to be looking at players that coming out of college, free agents, players who can help the 49ers become a better team next year, especially in that quarterback area. We need to be able to bring in some players that can compete and be good, solid players in the quarterback position. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going over some of the players that I like that the 49ers should target to bring onto the team. Discussions on Nick Bosa, his contract, and what to do with him. Jimmy Ward, will the team bring him back? Other scenarios that can happen, bring in some other wide receivers. I don't think they're going to be able to extend Brandon Ayuk this coming year because he's up for an extension also. So it's just many of those things that they're going to need to look at, especially at right tackle. Right tackle, we really need an upgrade on that side of the ball. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what free agents will be available for next year, and then see which college players best suits the Kyle Shanahan playbook and coming in. So for all of those of you that are are sad and upset, and you know, games like this hurt, but you gotta just move on. I just ate a bunch of cookies. That's what I did to move on. So that's it's a sad truth, but there was a lot of frustration out there with the players, and that resulted into a lot of penalties. And one of them, the one that really hurt the most, that I don't think was a real penalty, was the one where Jordan Mason got pushed into the punter, and they called a flag on that, and that extended the drive for the Eagles. The San Francisco 49ers were still, the game was still within reach, and they could have did something, but that just killed everything. And then the Eagles went in, scored another touchdown after that, with other uh, boneheaded plays that came with it. The offensive line played poorly in this game on the right side. Trent Williams did a solid job. There was just a lot of missed blocks in this game, which led Philadelphia to bringing pressure on the quarterbacks. And so, one thing I gotta give to all the 49er faithful and the fans, they didn't take off their jerseys and burned it or threw it in the trash. They didn't do all of that. All they did was, hey, felt bad, felt sad, angry, which is warranted, but they were able to. They weren't like Skip Bayless, throw the Dak Prescott jersey in the garbage can, or some fans burning their Cowboy jersey, or a lot of fans breaking their TV. 49er faithful, they didn't do that. They didn't do any of those things. So it was good that they just shared their frustration on how the game was. So I was on with Larry Krug on the Krug show earlier after the game, and there's just a lot of different scenarios that everybody was talking about. What ifs, and what if this happened or that happened? Well, those are just what ifs. They didn't happen. Kyle Shanahan did not challenge that play. He didn't challenge it. And from there on, that's what happened. The results is what it is. The San Francisco 49ers are going to regroup for this offseason, and they're going to come back better and stronger next year. Brock Purdy, his we'll see how his injury is, what's going to happen with his injury. So it was just a tough game. Today was a really tough game. Hats off to all the 49ers fans who flew out to Philadelphia, who drove out to Philadelphia to go and support the San Francisco 49ers. It was just a really tough day, and it started early. It started with that Devontae Smith pass that wasn't a catch, and I even tweeted that Talanoa Hufanga jumped up right away and said that was not a completed pass. The ball hit the ground. And somebody upstairs for the San Francisco 49ers should have been able to call down and let the coaches know, challenge that play. But it didn't happen. Communication wasn't there on that part. So we could just say that that's what happens when you are traveling for the NFC Championship game, because you started off 3-4, even though you came out with a lot of wins at the back end. But if the San Francisco 49ers did not drop some of those games, they would have played at home, and probably those film reviews would have came down faster to the coaches, and they could have challenged that play. But it didn't happen. It is what it is. San Francisco is going to regroup. They're going to get better. They got a lot of draft picks coming up. They have 15, I believe, and a lot of them are in the third round. So I can see them shoring up that offensive line by trading some of those picks to move up or go out and get a good right tackle and bring them on through free agency. So those are one of the things that those are some of the things that will happen for next year. And then the draft, they can reload, bring in other players. They don't have a first round draft pick this year because that was traded away in the, I think that the Trey Lance or Christian McCaffrey trades, but that's it, you know. But they can, a lot of the third round draft picks that they picked up because of losing Sala and McDaniel, and now the GM that went over to Tennessee, I believe. So there's more draft picks that's coming, and other draft picks from other players that got signed in the offseason that the San Francisco lost. So they will be able to do some maneuvering in a draft and be able to reload and get their players up.